everybody. For everybody, if you don't know me, I'm Glenn. I'm the middle kid. I have been referred to as the middle kid. There's double meaning behind that. And then Gary is the youngest, and Paul's in the back. And my mom's right here. So thanks for coming out today. We are, just so you know, we are going to record sort of the eulogy and a couple comments. As I'm sure you all know, we have family all over the world, really, particularly back home in Wales and Spain and Australia, lots of different places. So what we were going to do is we're just going to record the comments, and then we were going to put it online so everybody could take a look after. There's lots of family, obviously 8 hours time zone difference, and I don't know what the heck Australia is and whatnot. So so we are doing that. We're going to just go through a few words here, and we're going to invite some of my dad's good friends up to share a couple other comments, and then we're going to have a bite to eat. My dad would want everybody sitting around having a good time and telling stories. The Stelco table over here, I know I've heard a couple stories already, so that would be some good stories to hear from. So let's see if this is any difference there. No. All right. Well, if you'll bear with me, I can read. You guys can hear me okay?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay, perfect. So, again, thanks for being here to honor my dad, or our dad. And just so you know, these comments were written, the three of us put together the comments. It's not my words, it's our words. The three of us all put it together. So, anyway, so my dad, Graham Morris. So Dad was born on September 1st, 1939. An interesting date, right? The very day World War II began. That timing feels symbolic. He was a man shaped with resilience, grit, and quiet strength. Sure, he could be a bit gruff at times, but beneath the exterior was a deep well of loyalty and love. He wasn't one for grand displays of emotion, but he always showed up, always. And in the end, that meant more than words ever could. I'm sure everybody knows Dad grew up in North Wales. I've been asked a bunch of times over the last few years, right? I was born in Wrexham. Everybody asks about that soccer show with Ryan Reynolds, right? So if you don't know, that's where we grew up. So Dad grew up in North Wales with brother Elwyn, who now lives in Spain, and Anne, who is still in North Wales, and Pat Thomas, a half-sister who has previously passed. In 1966, my dad married my mom, Eileen Bloor, right here, beginning a lifelong partnership that spanned decades and continents. Together, they raised 3 sons who carry forward his legacy of kindness, perseverance, and quiet pride. So Paul's in the back there. Paul, whose thoughtful nature reflects Dad's steady presence. Me, Glenn. My wife, Christina, is here, and Josh and Sydney and Emily. And then Gary, of course, the youngest, with Jennifer, devoted dad to Audrey and Oliver. Oliver just had pins taken out of his hand from a BMX crash. And even though he's a little bit young, I know a thing or two about BMX crashes, and I can tell him that chicks do in fact dig scars. He'll appreciate that when he's a little bit older, I think. So. Everybody knows this, right? Dad was a true Manchester United fan. We know that. I see the Manchester United hat in the back, and Manchester United red looks awesome back there, Keith. Thank you. But not just a casual supporter, like lifelong, passionate follower. Whether United were winning trophies or struggling through tough seasons, he stuck with them. If United won, you'd hear about it. If they lost, well, you'd hear about that as well. His loyalty to the club was unwavering. It was one of his many ways he expressed his devotion. I think of his autographed letter from Sir Alex Ferguson that hangs in the condo here in Mill Woods. Yeah, Manchester United, unbelievable, right? So, in 1982, we were just chatting a few minutes ago. 1982, Mom and Dad made the bold and courageous decision to move the family from Wales to Canada I was thinking about it. Mom and Dad were younger than I am now when they moved here with 3 kids to a different country. We didn't put it down here. I do have to note that I do remember when I was 9, Dad promised that one of the benefits of moving to Canada is you get to ride skidoos all the time here in Canada, this weather. I am 52. I have never been on a down skidoo in my life. So moving here obviously was a leap into the unknown, and it took real guts. It's crazy when I think about that. He began his working life working at Brumbo Steelworks as a fitter, and then continued here to Alta Steel on 17th or 34th Street on the east end of the city there. Lots of my dad's coworkers from Stelco are here today. Until his retirement in 2002. So tough, demanding jobs, right? But Dad never complained. That's a hard job. There was a couple injuries and whatnot, like a really tough job, but never complained. Dad believed in hard work, in earning your way, and doing it all with quiet dignity. That was his way. Steady hands, strong values, and a work ethic forged in steel. But Dad wasn't all work. He knew how to enjoy life as well. Dad and Mom became avid travelers, especially drawn to warmer climates. They loved Royal Caribbean cruise lines. Dad quickly mastered the art of cruising and achieving the highest status level mathematically possible in the shortest amount of time. Proudly reaching diamond status. And if anyone was ever on a cruise with Dad, you would always spot him on board wearing his Manchester United hat or a golf shirt, ready to just talk football, especially if it meant defending United's honor against Liverpool or Arsenal. Or anyone, actually. That's a good point. Yeah. It's really one of the things that my dad used to his advantage to get to meet people out there, right? Was people would always come up and say, they would either be really proud or they would rib him a little bit about United. But Dad always wore the hat and the golf shirt on purpose to start the conversation. One of his favorite places on board was the piano bar, where he'd chat with performers about classics or the Great American Songbook. His favorite was a piano player named Martin Kay, a talented pianist Dad and Mom saw on several cruises. Dad had what he called the gift of the gab, and he used it well, making friends wherever he went. Over the years, they formed lasting friendships with people like Chris and Dave from Sherwood Park, I haven't seen in a long time, Bob and Cheryl from Arizona, and John and Peg from Los Angeles. Eventually, Mom and Dad found a second home at the El Cid Marina in Mazatlan, Mexico. Dad, ever the negotiator, secured a great deal on a timeshare, and for the next 20 years, they returned several times per year. He loved introducing his family to the wonderful staff and sharing the joy of listening to their friend Martine play in the dining room. He also met many other couples who became dear friends, including Keith and Elaine. One of Dad's favorite moments was arriving at El Cid when they pull up to the front, and the staff who knew Mom and Dad so well would always say, "Welcome home." The staff at El Cid really became a second family to Dad, including Leonardo the driver, Fidel the bar capitan, and of course Martine the piano player. I was thinking about it as we were writing this a little bit. Timeshares, they work, they're always trying to sell you more points and get more years and everything like that. And I think probably almost every single year Dad went down there to have a discussion and negotiate more points with the guy. I don't think Dad was ever going to renew it. He just liked to get into a discussion and try and get the best deal possible from those guys. And they knew who he was too when they went down there. So, Dad was also a man of sharp intellect and strong opinions. He read the newspaper daily and was a devoted crossword puzzle enthusiast. He followed world affairs closely, especially politics and finance and sports. Although I don't really watch all of today's news all that much, I know Dad would have had plenty to say about what's going on in the world today with politics, who's the current prime minister, what's going on, what's the tariffs and whatnot. So I know he would have had plenty to say. In fact, I'm pretty sure that my dad holds the unofficial Guinness Book of World Records for most letters to the editor published in the Edmonton Journal. And, if there was something that needed to be corrected, Dad was writing that letter right away. I'm pretty sure he owns that record. He wasn't flashy. He didn't need to be. Dad was dependable, solid, and strong, like the steel he worked on. He built a life not with grand gestures, but with consistency, presence, and a love that didn't always need words to be felt. There's so many little things we'll miss. His grumble when United lost. I was going to put this in here too. Whenever we travel with Dad and people would say Manchester United, one of the common things all the time is people would say, oh, David Beckham is their best player ever, right? That was a constant argument. He had to correct them no matter what. The way he sat in the chair like he owned the whole room, and the quiet pride he carried for his family, even if he didn't say it out loud, we all felt it. So now we're here to say goodbye. Dad, you did a good job. You gave us life. You worked hard, stood tall, and you were ours. We'll carry you with us in our memories, in our stories, and in the strength you passed down. Thank you, Dad. Gary, do you want to
I wasn't going to say anything. The only story that comes to mind when we're talking about Dad's quiet stoicism was when we were kids, he got hurt at work. And I remember he phoned and said he'd be a little late for supper. He didn't want to worry us, but his leg caught on fire. He spent 6 weeks in the burn unit and had to have a skin graft, but he didn't want to worry us. So just the way he carried himself through that really stuck with me for my whole life.
Thanks, everybody. Just one point. I don't know if we had it out there ahead of time. There is a guest book right at the entrance into the room here. If I can please ask if y'all can jot down a name and maybe an email or something like that. I think it'd be great if we can just reach out and send a thank you note for everybody. Again, Dad would appreciate everybody being here today. And we're going to try and do it online as well. Again, we have family all over. So again, there's a guest book outside. If I can please ask if you can jot something down there, that would be great. I'm going to ask our friends Keith and Elaine, or Keith and Elaine, to come up to say a few words. What we did was we asked a few people from different parts of the world to share a couple thoughts as well. Not everybody can be here. North Wales is a long way from here. So we just jotted down a couple comments, and so I asked Keith and Elaine if they could just say a couple words and recite a couple of the comments that were made from them. Once we're done with that, I'm going to ask the kind staff out here to bring out some food. We have some sandwiches. Please invite everybody to sit around and have some sandwiches, have some coffee, and tell some stories and enjoy the time we have here today. Dad, we want everybody to hang out and just chat and tell stories. So please stay as long as you want. I think that's about it. Keith Lynn, if you're okay. Check one. Speaker's almost working, but if you want to holler.
It might work. Maybe you can turn that down. Kind of does work.
Hi there. I could probably use my school teacher voice to get through, but the strong masculine type is much weaker, so. Received a message from Bob and Cheryl Destin, cruise ship friends from Arizona. He writes, sadly, we lost our dear friend last week, John Graham Morris. Our journey started on a cruise 16 years ago, sharing a dinner table with Graham and Eileen. Over these past years, we've shared wonderful times in Mexico, Edmonton, Phoenix, and their 50th anniversary with the family and friends, and also Cheryl's birthday cruise. We so enjoyed his storytelling, his joy, and disappointment for his beloved team, Manchester United. We're fortunate to have met and miss him dearly. Our memories will keep him alive in our hearts. Rest in peace, our dear friend, Bobby and Cheryl. Then from lifelong friends from Missouri, Sherry and Joe. Joe and I have dear friends in Canada. We are both from Wales and moved to Canada in the 80s for a job for Graham in the steel industry. Eileen has known me my entire life. She and my mom were pen pals when they were kids. They remain friends my mom's entire life, and I continue that friendship. Last week, Eileen's husband, Paul, Glenn, and Gary's dad, Graham, passed away. He was 85. He was a Manchester United super fan. He was a great storyteller, so knowledgeable about everything. He will be greatly missed by everyone who knew him and loved him. My heart is breaking for their family. I ask that you say a prayer for their family.
I guess I'll try the mic. Oh, there we go. Okay, so Glenn touched on it earlier, the hat. This one I purchased, but Graham gave me one when we first met. And I wore that one out. Shorts today. Graham was always, whenever we met, he wore shorts, unless in the blinding snowstorm. And the red, of course, is for Manchester United in his honor. So I too will read some comments. First one from Dave Winter, co-worker from Stelco and Sherwood Park neighbor. Our sincerest condolences and much love to Eileen and the boys at this very sad time. Graham was a dear friend for some 40 years plus, and we will miss him. We will miss our coffee mornings in McDonald's, discussing everything from British football, including his team, Manchester United, and the vacations in Mexico and his friendships with the resort staff at the El Cid Hotel, many of whom he stayed in contact even from home in Edmonton. He was an avid newspaper reader, enjoying the daily crossword puzzles and world news, also telling us when he had written into the newspapers to correct the reporters on any perceived errors, which he found periodically. Once again, our condolences to Eileen and family. So that was Dave Winter. Shauna Massey, Graham's niece. Sleep tight, Uncle Graham, Auntie Eileen, Paul, Glenn, and family. Gary and family, Gary and family, so sorry for your loss, love, and prayers for you all. Kisses and hugs, love from Shauna, Jerry, Aiden, and Jacob. The next is from Elwin Morris, Graham's brother. Lost a great brother. Love to Eileen and all of the family. Alwyn, Margaret, and family. I get choked up just reading these. Another one, Del Jones, family friend. R.I.P. Charlie. Best man at our wedding in 1965. Fond memories of him, a real gentleman. So very sorry, Eileen and the boys. Will Howard. Condolences to Eileen and the family from the Howards of Brake Road. I can remember when you used to come to Mom and Dad's for a drink. Charlie was a true gentleman. Okay. Andy and Joanne Wishery, acquaintances from El Cid. They now live in Newfoundland. Sorry to hear about Graham. He was such a nice fellow. Eileen will be devastated. Another employee from El Cid, Abisai Valencia, better known as Abby. Abby's about this tall. He used to be a bellman, and now he got promoted to being concierge. Knew everyone's business, knew and helped everyone. Abby says, I'm sorry for the bad news. He was a very good friend.
And Keith and I have been friends from Sherwood Park and from El Cid. About 16 years ago, we took our family to the El Cid Marina. While leaving the restaurant one morning, our grandson was exclaiming how he's gonna have to tell his tide about this ocean. Graham and his cruising buddy Bob were just behind us and overheard him, to which Bob said, "Hey, there's a tide right here." So our relationship began with the Morrises. It was uncanny to learn how many connections we had from Sherwood Park and from Wales. Over the years, we shared many stories about family members and visit to each other's homes. We felt the strong connections he had with his sons, daughter-in-laws, and especially the grandchildren. We felt like we knew you before we even met you in person. Graham was always up on politics, social issues, and sports. He undertook tutoring Keith in football, converted him to be part of the Man U fan group. And when we were at El Cid, there were our 4 o'clock meetings. Had to go down to the Iguana Pool Bar and discuss the daily events. Anytime here we were setting up coffee dates, Keith was studying up on the latest stats of our team, so that, and when the next trip to Mazatlan would be. May the many happy memories give all of you strength and all of us through this difficult time.
Thanks, guys. When I first heard about the 4 o'clock meeting, I thought they were like legitimately planning like the next vacation and how to get to the next tier level of the timeshare event. Turns out they were just sitting around drinking beer. Sounds like a lot of good times. So thank you everybody again for coming. I certainly appreciate it. The whole family appreciates it. We're essentially done. I've asked the facility here to leave the slideshow that we put up. There's about 60 or so pictures of Dad with different family members and whatnot. The red sweater back at 54 Calico Drive there. So we'll leave that up. I've asked them if they can put the music back on. Between my mom and my 2 brothers, we picked a dozen or so of my dad's favorite songs. That's just going to play overhead. You guys might recognize some of them there. And then I think we're going to have the food come out right away. Washrooms are here. Washrooms are outside as well if anybody needs it. Other than that, I think that's everything. Thank you everybody for coming. I absolutely appreciate it. Thanks so much.